Welcome, first episode of Talking Sports A to Z. I'm Alex Busch alongside my guy Drew Zlogar. How's it going, man?
What's going on, man? Glad to be on the airwaves with you.
So first episode here, we're going to get into a lot of different things. Just talk about, our background, how we got connected, things like that, and then, things in sports that are going on right now.
Yeah, no, I think I'm excited to be on with you. You're one of the most intelligent guys in the sports world, so we're going to be bringing some good content, but also we like to have fun with it. So it's going to be a good time, and what better time to kick off a podcast? I know we're not the only ones, but definitely during this time where we're home, kind of just finding things to do. It's going to be fun. We're going to bring some good stuff to you guys.
Welcome back to Talking Sports A to Z. I'm Alex Busch. Just to get into myself in sports media right now, also doing some things here and there in the entertainment business and in music as well on the side. I worked with Drew at the NBA. That's kind of where we both got started. I went to the PGA Tour for a year, and now I'm sitting at home in quarantine and working on the side for rapper Mike Stud, who's now just Mike, and work on his podcast, to some social media and video things for him. And that's kind of where I am right now. And Drew and I got to know each other a lot during the NBA, but Drew, you can get off and talk about yourself.
Totally. You're kind of dipping into the sports and entertainment world. It's cool to see. The Mike podcast is really good. You do some good work there. But yeah, kind of like what you said, we met and kind of started our friendship at the NBA. We were both there for about 2.5 years. So really established ourselves in the industry there. Most recently, I was the social media manager of the New York Guardians of the short-lived XFL, the new spring football league that clearly had promise, but due to this unfortunate circumstance, the pandemic had to kind of terminate the league. And with that, all the employees were laid off. So unfortunately, I was affected in a negative way due to this. So I'm kind of like you, back home, quarantine, chilling, almost losing my mind. So I'm glad that this podcast is here. I have a lot to talk about, and I think we're going to be able to really provide you guys with a fresh insight. I know we all like to talk about sports, like in the group messages and to your friends, and we hope to be able to do that in that way, but also provide some like good insights just in a friendly conversational manner.
Yeah, honestly, not a better time than quarantine to start a podcast. There's probably gonna be as many podcasts as there are quarantine babies. So
but we're going to be top of the list. We're going to skyrocket on the ratings for sure.
Just to get into us, I guess, what's starting the NBA. I probably started 2 months before you, maybe a month before you, and then
I think a little over a month before me.
Yeah, curious, because we became friends pretty quick. I'm just curious of how that came about, at least for you.
Yeah, in terms of you and I connecting?
Yeah, and just our team in general and stuff like that.
Right, yeah. So like you said, I think you were about 6 weeks before me. So from a first impression standpoint, when I got there, I was looking to latch on to some people that had good energy, but also knew what they were doing. I thought you kind of checked both of those boxes. Looking back, maybe that was the wrong decision, but kind of immediately, you and I, we like to bullshit. We like to have some fun. And you were one of many that ended up being kind of in my circle, and to this day, still good friends. So I think that's one of my biggest takeaways from the time at the NBA was kind of the relationships that I established in my life. I have a pretty big circle still to this day of NBA friends, and you're right at the top of the list. So we kind of kicked it off from our passion of the NBA and basketball in general, first and foremost, but the way we like to go out in New York City, we like to have some good times.
Yeah.
It was kind of it was a good match from the start.
I definitely think one thing that I think back to was so my job before the NBA was at RIT, which is a D3 school in Rochester in the Liberty League, and you played at Clarkson basketball. So I think that connection definitely helped, because I remember us talking about just guys that played RIT basketball that we were joking about and stuff like that, because I
Yeah.
worked there the year before. So I
Yep.
definitely covered one of your games without even knowing you beforehand, which is
Yeah,
probably
no, it's crazy how life works like that. It's like things are all in like come full circle, and that was definitely a full circle moment. I mentioned probably in my like intro in meeting you, like, yeah, I went to Clarkson University, definitely just expecting just to say my university and move on. And you were like, oh dude, like I worked at RIT. I was just like, damn, that's so crazy.
yeah.
We definitely bonded for that, for sure.
For sure. Yeah, I mean, so I've been gone. I've been out of there for over a year now. You've been gone for like what? How long? When did you leave the NBA?
My last day was like middle of October, so off the top, probably right around half of a year since I've been there. I think 7 months ish.
So you were there close to like 2 seasons, right? Or you were there?
Yeah, I in total, I think I was there like 27 months. Not to count to
Okay.
the day,
Oh, so you
but
were
like a
there for
little
over
over.
2 years then?
Yeah, a little over 2 years.
Because I was there just under 2 years, I think. So, I mean, we pretty much all did everything there. But what do you think back, and what makes you smile, and what kind of memories you got from there?
Totally. Yeah. I mean, the only reason why you were under 2 years is because you got a dope gig that you
Yeah.
couldn't say no to. So I kind of was extended after my second term. You and I were both on like a project employment term. And once my second year was like technically up, they kind of extended me past my allotted time. So that's why I had a little bit more time than you. But no, I mean, I have so many more good memories than bad. I don't even think I have one bad memory. I wish I could have stayed there for the long term. That's probably the one
Oh, I do
elephant in
too.
the room and
100%.
obvious statement.
100%.
But no, I mean, like I think we already touched on it. The people that we got to work with first and foremost was awesome. And this was my first job in the industry, so to work at, in my opinion, like the most successful and innovative professional sports league for over 2 years. I learned a hell of a lot. I learned first and foremost that this is actually my passion, being in this industry, which was awesome to realize. And I mean, I'm definitely better for it, like personally and professionally. What about you?
Yeah, 100%. I got involved doing G League stuff pretty early on, which was cool. I mean, it sounds, for people on the outside, obviously it doesn't sound as cool, but like, like how cool of an opportunity that is, because you get to do more, you get to go out to games, you get to kind of be in charge of more, and really get a responsibility, which was a lot of fun.
Right.
Shout out to BK and Tony for spearheading that. But
Shout
yeah,
out to
no,
you
that
guys
was,
for
yeah,
sure.
for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that was fun as hell, and it was really cool to do those, get that experience early. I got to go to showcase, um, G League finals, all that kind of stuff, which was a lot of fun, and be involved in that. But I think like I've talked to this with people that we worked with, and the most fun things I think back to were just like random, Thursday nights or Friday nights that we'd be working down in the control center. For other people listening, we had this room that was just filled with TVs. Games were on the TVs. We had lines of computers, just like almost like a computer lab with a ton of TVs, and then there was just things all over. There were different edit rooms and all that kind of stuff, but like we all worked in this little corner in the back right. And I mean, it was like there were nights that there were like 12 games we were cranking and busy and stressed out, but then there were nights that had like 2 TNT games, and we were just like having a ball. It was just fun. Especially towards the end, because I kind of like was like just chilling. But yeah, that's all.
That was the best, man. Your last like month and a half, just seeing like Rogue Alex was incredible. But yeah, that control center, that was where the magic happened. And like the content folks, us included, like we really had that bond of, we knew that we were doing everything and we were making the magic happen. So like even on a crazy night of 12 games or whatever, it was like we were running with our heads cut off all together. And it was like a strong like bond that we all had. So that
Yeah,
was,
it was the squad.
yeah, it was so dope. It was awesome.
It was great because it was like we were working so hard, doing so many things. There were so many people in there doing so many important things, but also we were just like, like when there weren't games going on or whatever, like especially on like a
We
Saturday,
knew how to enjoy
like
ourselves.
spread out time. We'd go get Chipotle, come back, like chill,
Yeah.
just bullshit a little bit, and it was a lot of fun. But
Right.
yeah, that was a lot of fun. I don't know why. I always think back to this. I think you were there this night. So Katie is in the back and she makes a bingo board, just the stuff I said. Do you remember this?
Oh my God. Dude, unfortunately I was not there that night.
Oh my
But
God.
obviously I was plugged in, like I was there with all the Snapchats I was getting. You were on an absolute another planet.
I was like locked in working, but also like locked in and just the boys were buzzing. I don't know why. And I'm just, me, I'd say the stupidest crap that comes to my head. It makes no sense. Like one of the bingo boards was like Drake lyrics. And I think that was one of the first hit that I just started yelling. But anyways, she has this bingo board and the board was killed within like an hour and a half.
Everyone had gotten bingo in like 20 minutes.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it was, that was one of many nights of like, what the fuck is Busch on?
Nothing, literally.
Yeah, literally. That was fun though, man, for sure. Shout out to Katie. She was part of the squad for sure, but that was one of a bunch of good nights.
Yeah. I think Justin Lester spearheaded that, if you remember that name.
Love Justin, man.
I actually talked to him a couple weeks ago, or like a week ago.
Nice.
Chilling in Seattle. He's like working for NBA 2K Mobile, doing their social.
Nice. Cool. Yeah, he was awesome. Good dude.
Yeah, there's so many memories. I'm sure we'll think of them, but yeah. I mean, we're at home. We're in quarantine for now. So how's it for you? I know that like just talking about the coronavirus and everything gives me anxiety. So I want to like not talk about it as much as I can. I'm sure you think the same way. Like seeing all this negative stuff drives me crazy. But like, how's quarantine going for you?
Yeah, I mean, I'm the same way. I've definitely hit my my peak of talking about the virus and the pandemic, but I've gotten into a good groove of staying busy and trying not to lose my mind. I'm definitely going on like walks every day to get out of the house and shit like that, and trying to like do whatever in-house workouts to just stay sane. But what I'm looking forward to is I'm just counting down the days and minutes until we're able to get back out. Like, I mean, you're going to be moving back into the city.
Yep.
Come the summertime, and just being cooped up in the house, like obviously sucks.
I mean, it sucks no matter where you are.
Yeah, literally.
Back
like,
home and
I'm
house and sucks still.
right. So I'm doing like as good as I can be for this circumstance, though. It is what it is,
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of where I am. I mean, everything's looking a little more positive lately, just with the fact that like curve's been flattened, stuff like that. But
right.
I'm like, dude, I'm ready. Like I work out pretty much every day, and your boy's actually been doing Insanity. So
hey,
trying to kill it here. Why not?
Summer bod coming.
Yeah, exactly, bro. But yeah, I've been like just going for walks. I like go out and just take out my 60-degree wedge and try to chip it over the pool into like random crap. Like I'm just like so bored.
Dude, that's what I miss, man. I want to go golfing so fucking bad.
So
like, I want to go golfing so bad.
The best part is New York State had golf courses open for a while. They had you had to walk and you like couldn't go in the pro shop. So like courses around, like public courses around Rochester, I was like driving around going to get food one night, like pickup, and it was early enough so there's still people out there, and I see them with like carts, like as if there's no big deal. So that's the reason why they got shut down. But then this weekend they opened back up private courses. So like my dad's club that I play at back in Rochester, I can go play starting I guess today, which is amazing. I'm so excited.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah.
But we have to walk, and it's a hilly course, so it sucks, but like better than not playing, I guess.
Yeah, I miss it so much. I would do that in an
Yeah.
instant if I were you.
I mean, we're playing as soon as I get down there, so I'll
Nice. Hell yeah.
take your money when I get down there. But yeah, I mean, speaking of golf, dude, that my last week at work was the Players. Talk about a weird week.
Yeah, man. How was that? Like
I'm sure you
you were
saw what happened, but like having the players. So like, there's the majors. You know about all the majors and how big they are and
right.
everything. But like from a tour perspective, like the Players is here, the Masters is here. You know, U.S. Open, PGA Championship, Ryder Cup, etc. Like Players and Presidents Cup are here just for the tour because they're like tour,
Those are the coveted ones. Yeah.
and they're run by the tour. Like the all the majors and the Ryder Cup are not run by the tour. They're technically like tour wins if you win, but it's not run by them. So like
Right.
they're not getting all that money from that. So like the tour, just Super Bowl is the Players, and we had been working months and months and months on content plans and all this stuff. We get to the course on. I did a shoot on Monday. We did a shoot. I forget what it was. I can't even remember what the shoot was. Probably my last real one. I can't remember. But anyways, Tuesday we get to the course. They're talking about like Golden State Warriors and Brooklyn Nets are playing with no fans, and then a couple different events are doing canceled or not playing with fans. And we're like, okay,
Yeah.
this is a real big deal. We get to the course, or we do our whole day on Tuesday. We have like this, or Wednesday, my bad, Wednesday. We have a happy hour with like people that we know and stuff because like the tournament starts the next day. And the NBA is canceled. Rudy Gobert has COVID. Like, it's insane. And I'm
Yeah.
like, dude, is my last tournament going to be canceled? And they end up saying, like, they're going to play without fans. So they play the first round. It was so awkward because there were fans at the first round. They didn't decide until that morning that they were going to do it without fans for the rest of the week. It's like, it was awkward. Like, I don't know. It was just weird. And then we show up the next day and it's canceled. I went from doing, like, content to being, like, a reporter. I'm like interviewing players as they walk out of their lockers, like, what's going on? You hear the Masters got canceled, and it's just
Crazy.
I don't want to interview the guys about that. Like, it's just like weird and sad. It sucks.
No, I mean, totally. It
Yeah.
was definitely a weird week on my end too. Like that wasn't the end of the XFL, but we suspended operations
Yeah.
initially. And it was midweek and we were set to host Houston. So in all honesty, half the team actually had already flown up, like the specialists and some of the
Like
defensive.
from the other team.
Yeah, and some of the defensive players, as typically like the away team would, the specialist and defensive team sometimes would go early, and so they were in the city. They were like at the hotel in downtown Jersey City, like kind of just chilling and whatever. And then on Thursday afternoon, the league made the kind of ruling that we were suspending operations.
Mhm.
And it just gave like a really murky vibe from everybody. We didn't really get any other explanation other than we're suspending operations.
Yeah.
So like content wise, we were kind of in a holding pattern, and then it ended up being just a really awkward month of just like
Weird.
there weren't any more games, but we were still posting, and then we just stopped. So the whole thing was so like abrupt and unexplained and very awkward.
Just because no one at that point knew what the hell was going on. Like, dude,
Right.
I was telling my boss, who was like, because she always came to me to ask about NBA stuff, just because I used to work there, and she's like, I hear NBA might shut down or whatever. I'm like, no, there's no chance. Are you kidding me? 2 hours later, they're freaking like indefinitely suspended, and then every league
Yeah.
suit and
No, I mean it like
nuts.
it was a tough thing to see because the NBA was like the first big domino to fall.
And the thing is, like, it fell because Rudy Gobert got the virus. Like, imagine if he didn't. Like, it could have gotten, not that, like, oh, thank God he got it, or thank God he touched all the microphones. That's not good. But, like, when you think about it, like, if someone gets it that early, they pretty much started the domino effect because of that. Like, I don't know. Like, if he doesn't get it, they probably play out those games at least that night, unless something else happens.
Yeah, no, I think you're right. And unfortunately, he did get it, and they made the decision. And I just remember myself feeling like when I saw that, I was like, "There's absolutely no way we're going on.
Yeah,
Like,
that's
there's
kind of
no way like a startup new league would just be like badass and just like, no, we're not gonna follow suit. We're not gonna like
yeah.
treat the pandemic as serious as it is. So I knew it was kind of just a matter of time. So it was really unfortunate.
Yeah, it was almost just a matter of time for every league. It was so weird. Never did I think that my last tweet from I tweeted about this. My last tweet from the PJ Tour was like a thank you to the fans and stay safe note from the commissioner. Like that was my last tweet before I left.
Crazy.
I remember tweeting that and they're like I was supposed to leave the next Monday and on what day was it? Friday, I think it was. My boss just like, I mean, you don't have to come in this weekend. Don't even come in Monday. There's like, we're going to be working from home and you're going to be doing nothing.
Right.
So like, I almost got cut short a couple days, but like, that's so weird.
Yeah, no, I mean, definitely was weird. And like since then, I mean, I can speak for myself, but I feel like we're in the same boat, dude. Haven't you just been starving for content and starving for sports? So like the fact that
Yes.
ESPN moved this MJ doc
Oh my God.
up, I know we like it was.
We'll get into that, but like, you know how excited I was when they moved it.
Oh, dude, like I mean, yeah, I like it happened last night. The first two episodes.
So
What?
they've been sitting on it. So like, what? It's genius to move it up.
Yeah, right. No, I mean, how did you think that went? I mean, I know I loved it, but I'll throw it to you. Like after watching last night, kind of what were your thoughts about seeing kind of the behind the scenes and more in depth look at those Bulls teams and how MJ was?
Yeah, so it's interesting for what I think is like for our generation. Like we obviously know about everything about that, but we were way too young to really know much about it when it was happening. Obviously, like those teams, like I was born in '93, so like those teams were very young in their existence. Like they had won probably two by the time I was born, and they went on that no three. So, but the point is, like that's just crazy. It's crazy to look back and see the footage and just how everything went because like you know how great MJ was. You've seen highlights of his flu game the year before. Just all different stuff when he dropped 60 plus in a loss, things like that that they actually got into in the first night, which was pretty cool. But like I'm a LeBron guy. I've always been a LeBron guy. But like seeing something like there's always that LeBron and MJ argument, which I hope everyone chills on until this is over because it
Right.
bugs the hell out of me because like both are different in their own way. But
Right.
like being such a LeBron guy, just growing up and loving his game, and always having to back up his greatness is really cool to see the other side and see how MJ was inside. Like the fact that they got this access for an entire year, which was all Adam Silver's doing back then when he was like with NBA Entertainment, which is crazy.
Yeah, no,
The fact that they got and like I loved when they were in the hallway going to the locker room and he's like MJ's like no guys, no cameras. He's like just kidding, like because like he loved it like that. The fact that they were in so much turmoil, they were such a good team, and they had access the entire year is just still insane to me. But yeah,
I
I love
no, I agree. I thought the same. I thought it was awesome. I think I fucking hate Jerry Krause. Watching those first
He's the
two
new Carol
episodes,
Baskin.
oh my God. Like, can we just talk about how brutal that man is? Like, he was
How dumb he is.
absolutely.
The man tried to completely he tried to start. I saw a tweet about this. He literally tried to start a 76ers process when they already had a finished process.
It like everything about his thought process, I guess from like a building a team standpoint, he had some good moments, but like the fact that he was just done with Phil Jackson and was like,
And he's
I'm
like,
not,
yeah, this year, last year.
I'm not really sold on Scottie Pippen. It's just like, what the fuck are you even thinking?
Yo, Scottie Pippen's agent. Oh my God. Can we?
Terrible.
So I was curious. I looked into his numbers. Obviously, he made a crap ton after he left Chicago. Like he made like 30 a year 1 year or something like that. But
Yeah.
he's making like $2 million a year, and he's like a top 5 player in the whole league.
I mean, it was terrible.
What the
I think they said he was like the 122nd highest
I
paid.
think it was on 127, something like that, highest paid player in the league, and he was the second best player in the league. Literally.
So I saw something today. Currently, the 122nd highest paid player is Andre Roberson of fucking
who can't hit a free throw.
Literally. So
Bro,
like,
imagine someone getting his money to be Kevin Durant right now.
Oh, I know. It's
Giannis or LeBron.
It was,
like, I mean, obviously,
it was
like
crazy.
different than that, but like, say, like picking just like point guard, 2 good players on one team. Like, think Kyrie Irving getting the money that like Andre Roberson has.
No, I mean it's crazy. No, but I loved it, man. Like seeing the behind the scenes stuff, like in that time, it was so like you saw how different like we treated professional athletes. Like nowadays, LeBron can't go anywhere without mobs of security and mobs of anything, a whole sports team. And it's like you were seeing like the Bulls traveling to an away game, and they were flying like commercial and like waiting in the TSA lines just with random women and men just boarding other flights, and like seeing that aspect of just like back then these guys were just regular people that were good at a sport.
But
I thought that was really cool.
Also, to the contrary of that, when they showed them going overseas and all they're getting mobbed like crazy, it's like Kobe in China. Like it's
totally. It still had that they were superstars aspect, but just like
they don't live there. Like it's a whole like it's like, you know, when you see people in a different country like that are that big of stars, like Michael Jordan was, like it's nuts.
No, it's crazy. How do you think it's going to continue to evolve? I think the next couple episodes, they're going to really get into the Scottie Pippen and MJ relationship. But what are you looking forward to as we continue on with that?
I saw a preview today of like 3 and 4. I forget what it was about. But like the way they're doing it, the way they're having like all this vintage footage from like that season, and going back to like interviews nowadays, just talking heads of like MJ and Scottie and all that. Also, Scottie Pippen, I've heard his voice 1,000 times. The woofer on my bass was blown out yesterday. Not really, but oh my God.
Oh yeah.
Every time he talks, I'm like, whoa, is this a robot?
Yeah, he talks like so
it's crazy because you hear him on TV. Like he does TV all the time, and you might notice it, but not to that level.
Yeah, his voice is unique as fuck, to be honest. Like very low, very slow, and like commanding.
Robotic.
Yeah, it was very interesting to hear him.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm interested to see where it goes forward. And the best part is that I like about these is when like there's people that know everything about what happened, and then things come out that you didn't know, which is the coolest part. Like, I mean, a lot of people knew about all this stuff, but like, how much did we really know about like Krause and stuff like that? Like as fans that weren't following the game at that point, like we just knew about the greatness of the team, Scottie, MJ, the championships, Phil Jackson, things like that. But it's just crazy to see the things that like, if we were around at that time, we probably would have known more about, but like, I didn't know that much about how much of a slimy guy, and like just a terrible GM. Like,
yeah, no, totally. I think you're spot on. The biggest regret that I have as a basketball junkie was that I wasn't alive and like coherent for MJ's greatness. Like I envy the fuck out of basketball fans that have the ability to like fully assess prime MJ and prime Bron. But like seeing him dominate and like hearing about Larry Bird talk about like that wasn't MJ, that was like God disguised as MJ.
Or how about the fact that Danny Ainge and MJ played golf the day before?
Crazy.
I was thinking about this. Imagine like the Cavs Warriors finals and LeBron and like Steph are playing golf the day before. If anyone found out about that, they'd like get ripped to shreds nowadays.
Well, that's yeah,
And they never would because they're such competitors. I'm not saying MJ wasn't; he just wanted to gamble. But
no, but I honestly think they did that, and they were able to do that because it was a different time back then. They didn't have the media following them everywhere they went.
Twitter.
That like if they did play golf, they would get reamed. But I totally feel like because I know Draymond Green and LeBron are like really close, and I bet honestly they probably I wouldn't be surprised if during the finals they even got like a dinner together. But
I'm sure that.
yeah, so it's like interesting how during the finals, bitter rivals and like Danny Ainge and MJ were playing golf in an off day.
I think it's hilarious.
Yeah, I thought it was really cool too.
It's just like it's amazing. But yeah, what were we saying before that? I totally lost track.
I don't even know either, but I know you're a Bron guy, but I know it's only 2 episodes in, but how do you think that like the perception is going to be after these MJ docs are finished with how the argument that I know you don't like discussing is going to continue to evolve? Because
I think it's going to get worse just because people are going to see MJ's greatness. Like people are going to, they're going to go into like all different stuff about things he went through and all this shit. But like the thing is, if MJ at the end kind of like comes off as an asshole in the whole thing, which I think is a very big possibility because he's a competitor. Like he doesn't give a shit. You see him shit talking everyone. Like he could very well come off as just like an asshole. Like that's going to change like Bron stands like myself, but I'm not to that level of some people, but some people are just going to be like, talking like LeBron's such a great guy. MJ's an asshole, which I'm not saying LeBron's not a nice guy because he's probably one of the greatest humans alive, but that's a whole different story. But yeah, no, it's only going to enhance the debate because people are going to be just not nonstop talking about it. They already are 2 episodes in. And it's like, wait till Bron's doc in like 2040 and it's going to be incredible. And I'll be making it. So it'll be amazing.
Yeah, no, I think I'm a LeBron guy as well. But right now I give the nod to MJ, but I do think that if LeBron were able to get a title in LA, I think that would be able to catapult him above. So it just sucks that like this season might not be able to be finished because if they were able to get this season done, I think the Lakers would have had
the title.
A good shot for sure to win it.
And LeBron haters are going to be worse if they end the season and don't get a title.
Yeah, so I definitely think that if and when that Laker title comes for LeBron, then the argument really shifts in his favor. So right now with the doc coming out, the MJ stands are loud and proud.
All right, I just have to say one thing, and then I'm done with the MJ LeBron. But I just have to say it. This is my backup for why LeBron is the greatest player every single time. I didn't watch MJ when I grew up, so I didn't know. But the man came back to his hometown with, you can say those 4 years, not the best rosters when it comes to injuries and building around him. So he had Kyrie and Kevin Love, great. First year, they both freaking get injured. One's injured game 1, one's injured earlier, and they're out for the series. Like he almost averaged like 40 points in this series. It was incredible. They lose, but anyways, the coming back from down 3-1, averaging a triple double in the finals. Like the dude, I really don't think that he could have done anything more to win that game. Or to win that series. And I'm just saying, coming back from 3-1 is unprecedented, and that still, you can say his record in the finals and he's only won 3 or whatever. That cemented him as probably the best player. But that's all I'll say.
Yeah, no, I mean it's true. What you're saying is definitely valid. I think I think the biggest knock and the difference between the two and how we perceive them and like the public perceives them in the debate is the lack of media when MJ was around
Oh yeah,
and the intense media with LeBron.
completely
Because
different. And
a
like,
lot of people don't know that Michael Jordan's first 3 seasons, he had losing records.
and
So it's like,
they lost in the first round a few times. No one knows that. No, or no, no one
right.
talks
Well,
about
no, everyone knows it, but just
it. No one talks about it.
no one talks about it because no one talked about it back then. And so now it's like all MJ is that's talked about is like his dominance and his greatness. But like just like everybody, he struggled. And yes, in actual NBA finals, his record is 6-0, but like he went through some shit and like
He lost
I
before
think it's gonna
several times.
yeah, and it's going to come out more and more in this doc that he wasn't the best teammate. I think one thing that LeBron is true and blue about is that he is one of the best guys that professional sports has ever had, and
Yes,
the fact that he is that good of a teammate, that good of a guy, that good of a guy to be around. Um,
in the community, a father.
right. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Like I think a lot of the difference this is saying, in my opinion, if he gets his title in LA, I think the only difference is going to be that there was media around LeBron his entire career, so they glorified the bad times and the good times, and there was basically none when MJ.
There's no middle. That's the thing. There's no middle ground for him because of the media coverage and the amount of exposure. If he loses bad, and if he wins big. And
Yeah, so I mean, I'm like I already said at the beginning of this, I'm a LeBron guy as well because he was the best player in my generation, so I'm biased toward him. But I think that if he brought a title to the most like historic franchise in the NBA, that would be a title in three different markets that were begging for a title, and he made it happen. I think that would cement him as the best player of all time because he already has the records from like a stat standpoint. And
Mhm.
if he doesn't, and if he doesn't have certain
If
ones
he doesn't have certain
yet,
ones, he's getting them next year. Like
right,
very
he'll
close.
get all of them and blow all of them out of the water by the
Yep.
time it's all said and done.
Yeah.
I think
100%
he's just one title away from really cementing that
agree.
he's the best of all
And I
time.
think the thing that people need to remember is that the dude went to 8 straight finals. That's just unreal. It,
Totally.
two
Nah,
different two different teams, 8 straight finals with sometimes good teams, sometimes teams that have Matthew Dellavedova starting at point guard. So
right.
love you,
No, I
Dell, but
mean,
like, oh my God, that roster was decimated. But anyways,
crazy. Yeah, I mean, let's transition off. We have tons of weeks to come to talk
yeah.
about
Oh
the
yeah,
MJ
this doc
doc.
will be a thing. It's every
And
Sunday, so it'll be a thing every week.
yeah, so but a team that's looking for a title are my New York Jets, and
The
always
title in the basement.
I know, right? This is
Oh
always a
my
fun
God.
time. I know we have a good draft pick though. I'm excited. So in anyways, it's the NFL draft week. I know you're a Bills fan. I'm a Jets fan. So AFC East in this podcast. How are you
Hey, we can
feeling?
agree on one thing. Tom Brady is gone. The
Yeah.
Patriots are sounds like most likely not even drafting a quarterback. This is going to be incredible because the Patriots are going to be like third in the division. I'm going to be so happy.
I know it's
But knowing that, and I said that, they're going to like go 14-2 with like Jared Stidham.
no chance. No chance. This is the first time in my life that I'm actually like the division is finally up
It's
for
open.
grabs.
It's
Yeah.
open. It's up for grabs. I'm once the sports books open, I'm hitting hard on Bills winning the division because it's happening, and it's amazing.
So I think you said uh, you don't have a first round pick. Is that
Well,
right?
the Bills traded their first round to get Stephon Diggs
Okay.
in that trade, which is worth it because if they had a first rounder, they'd be going for a wide receiver anyways. But instead, they got a top 3 wide receiver instead. So that's awesome. But
He's
they're going to be
definitely not a top 3 wide receiver, but anyways.
Stephon Diggs. Are
You
you
think
kidding?
Stephon Diggs is a top 3 NFL
Look at
wide
his
receiver?
numbers right now. Are you kidding?
I can quickly name 3 wide receivers I'd rather have.
Oh my God. Okay. Okay.
Are you serious, dude?
Yes, I'm serious.
Wow, that's
Look at his you gotta after this, look at his numbers from last year, and you're gonna be very like you're gonna be shocked at his numbers from last year because he was playing with Kirk Cousins.
yeah,
It's
I mean so is that a good thing that he's going to Josh Allen?
the guy with the strongest arm in the league that's gonna become once he becomes accurate is gonna be deadly. Yeah, it's all right. I'm fine with it.
Something that I appreciate about you is that you stick to your guns and
Okay, I'm
stick to
sorry, but
your
like
teams.
Josh is the guy though. I loved his pick since the draft, and I just love that raw talent in his arm and his legs. And I love the fact that he is perfect for Buffalo because of just the way he's like that hard nosed blue collar guy. Like if you saw it on the Thanksgiving game when they had like 4th and 1 or something, and he like hit 3 different guys on a QB sneak to get a first down on 4th down or something. Just things like that. But yes, I stick to my guns when it comes to
Yes,
that.
you definitely do. The Bills are included in how you stick to your guns.
Yes.
No, I mean like, what do you think your team's needs are if you don't have a first round pick? Like, what do you think they're going to be targeting throughout the rest of the draft?
It's the thing about the Bills that's different this year is like they don't have a specific need. They have some holes to fill, maybe an offensive lineman, maybe a running back to pair with Singletary because Singletary's young and um, he did get he does have an issue getting holding onto the ball and also staying healthy. So I think that a running back in the second or third round wouldn't be bad. It really depends on how those shake out because no one's going to draft a running back in the first round. It looks like. Um, but yeah, besides that, maybe an extra corner. But they signed Josh Norman this summer, so we'll see who the hell he is now. Like if he's any
Right.
good anymore. But they also have Tre'Davious White, who's arguably the best corner in the league outside of Gilmore. So, which I think he's better than Gilmore, but that's just a whole different story. But yeah, I mean, dude, it's all finding holes and pieces. They don't have like it. I've never been going into a draft being like, not being like, they need to get a quarterback, they need a wide receiver, they
Right.
need big skilled position. It's more of like filling holes, which is very abnormal for the Bills. So, at least as of late. So, but I know the Jets need a lot. I can tell you that.
Yeah, it seems like every single year Jets go into the draft like we need so many things and we need to hit. I think we hit with Sam Darnold. I'm a believer in him. I think the proof was in the pudding and how our team performed last year. When he was out there, we were actually like showed some semblance of an offense, and when he wasn't, we were back to being one of the embarrassments of the league. So I really think he's the answer. So I think one of the biggest things in the draft, we have the 11th pick. Um, if Jerry Judy is there, I would
I saw
respect
you
that.
tweeted about that earlier today.
Yeah, I would respect Jerry Judy, but I think the first and foremost need is shoring up that line. So I'm looking at basically one of those 4 offensive linemen, the Thomas kid, Becton, Wills, or Wirfs. Take your pick. I think all of them are going to be awesome.
The
Um,
Iowa State dude is supposedly nasty. That's worse, right?
that's Wirfs. Yeah. So
Iowa, not Iowa State, but yeah.
yeah, like if Jerry Judy is there and they go with him, we haven't had like a playmaking wide receiver in so long, so I won't be mad. But I think the obvious choice is protecting our quarterback, and there's going to be linemen that are awesome at 11. So either offensive lineman or wide receiver is what I would go with.
Okay. And they got rid of a couple of wide receivers this year, right?
Yeah, they got rid
Robbie
of
Anderson left.
Robbie Anderson left. I think Quincy Enunwa still hasn't signed or something that he's not guaranteed to come back. So like we've kind of been making do with like B minus at best wide receivers for the past like 5 years,
Yeah.
maybe even more. So like Robbie Anderson leaving isn't even the biggest deal because he's not even a big deal.
No.
which is
He
why
got,
like
he got a big ticket though somehow.
yeah, I mean,
Where's the
I don't
line? I don't even remember.
Carolina.
Carolina. Okay.
Yeah, it's like I don't get why he's coveted. All he
Dude,
is
I
like
will never understand it. He's a fast guy, but I will never understand the attraction to him as a wide receiver.
I mean, dude, he's like 6'1", 160. Like he gets pummeled off the line. Like I hated him as our number one wide receiver. So like when he was like refusing to sign with the Jets, I was honestly like, dude, good riddance. Like you're
Good riddance.
you were overvalued anyways. So I would love like a beast of an option for Sam to throw to or him to get protected is kind of like where I'm at.
Okay. Um,
How do you think the draft in general is going to go? Like being online
Dude, it's
and
gonna be so weird. We're just gonna be chilling with Goodell in his basement. I'm hoping there's booze. It looks like Bud Light's doing some promo where you can like send in your booze and it's gonna make the broadcast somehow. I don't know how it's gonna work, but
I saw that on the Pardon My Take pod. They're trying to do
they were joking about what were they saying today? They were joking about everyone like recording their booze, but
they're
like
going to do
apparently
like
Bud Light's doing it. So I don't know what's going
the
on.
Zoom inception.
The Zoomception, and
Yeah.
they were like all Jets fans need to be just people yelling out their windows in New York City
So funny.
because there's so many
It's-
Jets fans that are mad, like KFC.
I even if it comes with technical difficulties or it's not as like clean as a real draft, I'm so excited for it. Like I need some sort of like real football and like real sport events happening. The MJ doc kind of got me fired up and like
Dude, same.
tuning in was cool, but like the fact that we actually have like real football shit happening this week is going to be sick.
Okay, so Stephon Diggs was 14th in the league this year, so maybe I'm a little off on my excitement. But I
Yeah,
will
no
tell
shit,
when
dude.
you look at dude, he's known around the league as one of the best route runners in the league. So I don't mean by numbers, I just mean by talent.
Okay.
I just need to back my.
Still, you're just totally wrong. He has games where it's like he'll go for 150 and 2 touchdowns, and then he'll have a game where it's like 2 receptions for 20 yards.
He also had Kirk Cousins, and I will never listen to anyone who tells me Kirk Cousins is good, especially with the number of primetime games they had.
Okay, but he's going to Josh Allen.
Yeah. Well, get ready. All right, whatever. Or maybe I'm a fucking idiot, but all I want.
Yeah, I mean, I know, like obviously, like I
mean,
like
John Brown had like close to 1,000 yards last year.
Right. No, I liked the move, and in Stephon Diggs's case, he needed to get out of Minnesota anyways. So like,
Still
he
had
needed to move. He's
2,000 plus
motivated.
yard seasons in Minnesota. The last two, 15 touchdowns the last 2 years. All right, I'm done.
Nah, totally. But I think as we kind of wrap, what are you looking for the rest of the week, and what do you expect to kind of happen with this pod as we go forward, and like what can we give everyone out there listening, because I know we're gonna have thousands and thousands of subscribers after this one.
Yeah.
What's down the road for us?
I want to keep going, baby. Just like, it's something while we're in quarantine to do for us, but also like, our friends, family, and hopefully it goes beyond that, can listen and just listen to us talk about sports and tweet us, tell us we're fucking idiots, and tell us that Stephon Diggs is like a top 10 wide receiver in the league. And then
I'll be the first one to refute that.
And then I don't know, like we'll see where it goes from here. Maybe we'll bring on some people that we know. Like we know so many people in the sports, just like that SM sports. They say just community, like just social media sports community, which could be fun. Other guys. I mean, everyone's bored as hell right now, so I don't see why we can't do that. Moving forward, but I mean, it's good for us to talk about sports. Good for me to, how many times I see something that I'm like, this pisses me off, but I don't want to tweet about it.
Right.
Something like that. It's perfect for it.
I agree. I think we're going to execute that. I want to have guests on the show. I think for the first couple pods, it'll be us just getting our kind of getting our flow together and allowing you guys listening to familiarize yourself with our takes and how we present it. But like you said, we have so many connections in this industry that provide really good insight in all sports. So I think tapping into that will give you guys like a good third or fourth voice to listen to, because you're going to get sick of our voice chattering your ear off.
100%, especially mine. So, but yeah, I mean, especially with the things hopefully coming back soon, which will be good. And, you know, golf's coming back in June, and I know like you like golf, but I freaking love it. So like we can talk a lot about that.
Right.
Other things that'll eventually come back. The draft's happening. MJ docs every week for the next, 5 weeks, I think.
5 weeks, yeah.
4 more weeks, so 5 total because it's 10 episodes. And yeah, like good way to just shoot the breeze and kill some time while in quarantine, and then hopefully, you know, expand it once we're out of quarantine. Once I'm back in New York, maybe I can come over. We can do these a little more in person and more formal. So, yeah,
totally. And I think I agree with everything. I'm going to shout out my Twitter just so you guys can like be able to reach me. It's Drew_Zlogar, ZLOGAR. I know we're not going to be getting a bunch of requests initially, but like feel free to hit us up if you want to hear anything. We're definitely all ears.
Yeah, I'm Alex Busch, Busch, Busch like the beer, 93, and I'm gonna start a pod account too, so we can send some stuff out. So,
nice.
But yeah, you know, if you don't have anything else, we can kind of wrap this thing up. Pause.
Yeah, I think I'm done, tapped out for episode 1. I think I talked my ear off enough, talked your ear off enough. I'm excited though, man. This is always good to talk sports. Love doing it with you. I'm going to keep refuting your Bills and blasphemous takes because you usually have a couple in your wheelhouse. So I'm looking forward to continuing doing this though with you.
You can at least say I'm positive. Oh God. All right. Well, that'll do it for our first episode of Talking Sports A to Z. I'm Alex Busch.